Hey, it's Free and welcome to this month's video blog episode of The Soul Growth. First and foremost, as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope this finds you in wonderful spirits and that you had an excellent month. Before we get on this month's topic, which is about judgment, let's talk a little bit about standards. Standards is a bit of an extension from last month's topic, embracing acceptance and releasing expectation. Standards are absolutely necessary in our lives. When we start to understand that we are co-creators of our lives, we are participants and not victims of our life. When we understand that, we allow great things to come into our life. We start to magnetize the things that we really want because we acknowledge what it is that we want and we start to embody it. That is the important thing. You want better people in your life. You want better friends. You want a better lover. Start embodying what it is that you really desire in that lover and watch. Then you start attracting those very things. Standards they empower you to take responsibility and ownership for what is happening in your life. Whereas when you have expectations, you're giving that responsibility to someone else, setting yourself up for what? Disappointment, anger, and frustration. Let us not do that. So you want to have better people in your life. You want to break bad habits. Set some standards, not only for yourself, but for the people around you, and watch your life flourish. So let's get straight to it. Judgment. Only God can judge me. Judge not lest you be judged. I am sure all of us have heard these terms and these statements made before. Why? Because people judge every day on a regular basis. And there's a difference. We have to make judgment calls every day regularly. You're driving down the road, you see cars coming and you need to turn in front of them. You make a judgment call on whether or not it's safe enough to turn in front of those cars. You go to a restaurant. You make a judgment call. Do I really want this burger or do I need to eat this salad because I want to eat a little bit healthier today? You make a judgment call. This is what we do. However, the issue comes in when we start judging people and circumstances and we put this energy on it, whether it's right or wrong. A judgment is not the same as an opinion. They are slightly different. So let's say that a judgment is the next degree of an opinion. And an opinion is okay to have, but a judgment is like a strong, authoritative opinion. And so you're basing it off of your experiences, your views of life, and saying this person is right or this person is wrong. An example. That person over there needs to get their life together. They are horrible with their finances. They don't know what they want to do with themselves. They this, that, and the third. That is a judgment. All right. Now, we tend to show judgment in different ways. Superiority. Say that I used to be a drug addict and an alcoholic. So now I feel superior to those that are in that lifestyle still. Why? Because I have overcome it and I have gone beyond that in my life. But I'm not superior to the person that's still struggling. I used to be in that struggle. So how should I look down on that person? If anything, I should try to step in and help them. Let them know, I've been where you are. And I remember what it was like. And I wish you nothing but peace. And I hope that you find what you need. Alternatively, there's also gossip. We sit and we gossip about people, places, situations, and things all the time. That is an entire conversation full of judgments. I promise. Do that a lot. Making fun of people. There is truth in every plan. And let's be honest, there is always truth in all of it. Just an ounce, if nothing else. I'm not saying it's completely true, right? One that I see all day, every day. Shake my head. What you shaking your head for? That is a very judgmental statement because that's implying that whatever it is that you're shaking your head to is wrong. And that's not okay. How do you like it when you're judged? How do you like that feeling? I met a guy last week. I went to a meetup. And when I came in the door, he said, "Man, you look nothing like you looked in that picture. That was a really awful picture. You look much better in person." Now, I don't think it was his intention to necessarily make me feel judged. I thought it was a good picture. Apparently he did not. And I didn't take it personal. I just was like, okay, thank you for sharing. Moving forward. But sometimes people aren't intentionally judging, they're just giving their opinion. It's a very thin line that can be skirted, and people don't know when they've crossed it sometimes. And sometimes people do it and don't even realize that they're doing it. I have people in my family that I regularly, man, you are so judgmental. I guess I'm being judgmental by saying that, but you know, it is what it is. When I say, look, can you just accept that for what it is? To judge something is to say, that's not right. To have an opinion is to say, that's not right for me. So an example, you see someone walking in the door and they are dressed a certain way. You're like, oh my gosh, what is that person wearing? That looks crazy. What is on their head? Who walks out the house looking like that? That is a judgment. Now, on the flip side of that, an opinion would be, that's very interesting what that person is wearing. I would not have even thought of putting it together in that way. Okay. But when you have an opinion, you understand that it's not for you. You don't embrace it as your own reality or something that you have to do. You just accept it and you move forward because you know that it's not for you. So, how do you know if you're being judgmental? How can you change the fact that you may be being judgmental? 6 helpful steps. 6. Okay? Number 1. Reframe it. How can you look at that situation just a little bit better? Change your perspective. Try to see it from that person's point of view. Number 2, get curious. Remember that video, Get Curious, Not Furious? It never hurts to ask questions. Educate yourself on the background. Maybe there's a reason why that person is doing it in that manner. Number 3, try to sympathize or empathize. If you can't empathize, show sympathy. Number 4, don't take it personal. Nothing else needs to be said about that. Number 5, is there a possible explanation that I am unaware of? Again, that kind of goes hand in hand with educating yourself. And number 6, why does this bother me? A lot of the times our judgments are a reflection of what we have experienced, our insecurities, our weaknesses, our soft points, something that we haven't quite overcome. So you might say that that person is fat because you know what, they're just a little bit fatter than you. So you feel like you're better than them, or that you are not as bad off. So you feel like you can say something about them. But how do you like it when somebody calls you fat? Like, it doesn't feel good. We don't like it when people judge us. So why do we judge people? The only person that you can judge is you. The only person that you can change is you. So to make a judgment about somebody else and what they have going on is an absolute waste of energy. Why not turn that judgment on yourself? A lot of the times we are not reflecting on ourselves and how we can be better people, what we need to change. We don't use that energy properly. So to use that energy and judge yourself, you know what you've been through, you know what you have experienced, you know how far you've come, and you know where you want to be. You set that standard. So if you've done that, then judge yourself. Use that energy to judge yourself and go within and work on you. Be the change you want to see in the world. So, I want to give you a quick story. I was reading a book, and the guy was telling a story about how one Sunday morning he was riding on the train. The train was quiet and peaceful. Everybody just seemed to be enjoying the experience. Just relax. It's Sunday morning, because I'm easy like Sunday morning, you know? So then his family comes on. There's a guy and his 4 kids. And they come on and they start making all this noise. They're rambunctious. The kids are running around up and down the aisle. They're making all this noise. They are extremely disruptive. And so the man says to him, he says, hey, do you not notice that your kids are really disturbing everyone else? Don't you want to try to get control of them? The guy says, man, you know what? I'm so sorry. I'm out of it. He said, we just left the hospital. My wife just died. The kids aren't taking it very well. And really, quite frankly, I'm still trying to process what's happened. Imagine what that guy felt. That gave him an opportunity to reframe it, get curious, sympathize and empathize, not take it so personal that these kids were running around, see that there was an explanation behind it all, and then even evaluate why it was bothering him. We need to do this in all parts of our life. Knowing is part of the better. So knowing and recognizing and acknowledging that you're being judgmental is just a piece, but it's a big and very important piece. And I feel like the less we start to judge people, the more accepting we'll be, the happier we will be as a society. Be the change you want to see in the world. I promise you that is one of my favorite quotes. I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a blessed and wonderful month. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me a message, thesoulgrowth.com. Don't forget, I do personal sessions. I do alternative, medicinal, and other forms of healing. I am here for you. So if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Peace and blessings. Bye.